What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, latest and updates, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid right now during the pre-market, it is up 1%. And the reason why I'm doing a pre-market video is because we had some absolute amazing data that just came out. So I wanted to kind of break this down for you. If there's some big developments throughout the trading day, I'll do a PM video as well if necessary. But as far as right now, with it up 1.07%, things are starting to heat up. And in Lucid's case, that will put it above that 10-day moving average. And we've seen a lot of optimism form because of that. So that happened here, numerous times. So Lucid has shown that it really wants to move higher. Just regrettably, when it comes down to like the make it or break it point, it always gets smacked down, largely because of shorts. But I'll kind of break that down for you in a second, but things are looking pretty good so far during the pre-market. Had that nice spike up because of the data. So getting right to the data, we did have building permits both for September and also October. They both came in better than anticipated. Housing starts, both September and October were lower than the forecast. So in all fairness, they kind of cancel each other out. And the Feds are going to be looking at several things. One of which is inflationary data, which conveniently we do have at 9 a.m., Michigan Consumer Sentiment. They're going to be looking at housing, so the real estate market, and labor. So non-farm payroll came in at 50,000, forecast of 45. So generally good. Unemployment came in at 4.4, forecast of 4.6. So all of this is phenomenal. The only way the market might take this as a negative is because technically with these canceling each other out, and this coming pretty solid, there's no real reason for a rate cut. So most likely the chances of a January cut just went out the window for today. So that's kind of a good bad type of scenario. But potentially what I've noticed this week at least is that even with the data that's come out, it didn't really affect this all that much. So the January 28th meeting rather started to move the March. So I do truly believe that the market is already fully aware that we're not going to get anything for January, and it's starting to assume March the 18th is where we'll get kind of the next cut. So all in all, I wanted to kind of pop on, go over this data, which is absolutely amazing. Mind you, there hasn't really been that much associated to Lucid. So no press releases, no SEC filings since January the 6th. Couple posts online, so it looks like Lucid's advertising about CES, although they don't actually have a booth fully this year. So I think that's still shows that they don't really have full commitment. They're kind of just piggybacking off of SoundHound and also NVIDIA. So I guess Lucid's getting some free marketing. Not really. I don't think anyone's ever going to complain about that. So again, it is what it is. One thing I do want to bring up though is this. So this was posted by Dar. So hats off for finding it. But I think one thing that has always moved Lucid is large influencers. So whether you have 1, 4, or higher million subscribers on YouTube, for instance, you can move the stock price. More notably, the most recent negative review, which I think they had around 4.16 million subscribers, that caused a lot of damage. And some people disagree with me on that, saying that it wasn't correlated, but honestly it is, especially if algorithmic trading is making up for a good about 30-35% of your volume every day. It will affect it. So this, interestingly enough, was a YouTube video, MrBeast. Actually, I don't know if it was actually posted on MrBeast's channel or these people, and I don't remember their names. My kids watch them. I can't stand them. I can't stand a lot of what my kids watch, mind you, but completely unrelated. Nonetheless, I'll kind of just mute this so it doesn't have an echo. But ultimately, at the very, very end, pretty much if you watch this whole video just to see this point, there's no hint at Lucid. Lucid's never actually even brought up. MrBeast just says in here the mystery box, so still doesn't really even call a Lucid, but you see a Gravity. So pretty good stuff. I think this is good marketing. It would have been a lot better if they gave a hint sometime in the 29 minutes prior that, hey, like Lucid Gravity, blah blah blah. But still, honestly, the fact that I guess MrBeast sees Lucid as a good prize, not a Tesla, not Mercedes or something else, as a Lucid Gravity, I think that's good. So Lucid really does need to promote, and they don't actually have to do a formal PR about this. They can just simply retweet it. I'm sure MrBeast will appreciate that as well. Or unless these individuals were the ones that posted the video. But beside the point, good stuff to see Lucid being a good grand prize. Regarding shorts, they are increasing about 15,000 shares during the pre-market, so might be a little bit more of an active day for them. When it comes down to analyst ratings, honestly, we only got 2. So we had Morgan Stanley that came out a couple days back, Robert Bard, and that's it. So I think every analyst now is just waiting for Lucid's earnings. So they're not willing to change their estimates or any of their ratings based on their quarterly numbers. So kind of odd. This is something that we haven't really seen too frequently before. But aside from that, with today being Friday, this is the open interest. So you have 752 at the 11, 2,000 at the 11.50, 3,000 at the 12. So very low numbers, so you won't be seeing any gamma squeeze. Even if Lucid, for whatever reason, is able to close above 12.50, 13, or whatever today, you're not going to see any gamma squeeze. These are small numbers. Next week, though, that is a monthly chain. That's where the numbers really step up. So best case scenario, if Lucid's able to close above 13 by next week, then this is where you could see a nice push higher. Of course, right now the market's not really open, so not seeing that much in institutional transactions, all that much. Yesterday we did see a lot of selling, so I didn't do a Lucid video yesterday. I did a Polestar, and because I liked what Polestar was really putting out. But so far, no transactions so far on the secondary market, and similarly on the dark pool. So it's kind of a quiet day, but still nonetheless, I do feel like a lot of this data is going to really push Lucid higher. Currently, the futures are having a nice little pop up, so that's always a good thing. Couple key levels to watch for, with it at 11.31 during the pre-market. It is smack dab in the middle between this pivot and this S1. So 10.31 and 11.76 is going to be the next strong support and target. So I'm looking at the one-day chart, so that's very strong support and resistance points. For those of you that want a day trade, swing trade, just watch for 11.43 and then 11.03. Realistically, I don't see this 11.03 being on the table. Potentially this 11.43 could, that's if it gains some pretty good momentum. I don't really feel Lucid's going to put out anything today, unless, usually in my opinion and my experience covering Lucid, the only time they ever put stuff out on a Friday is negative. And that's usually just to kind of brush it under the rug, as what a lot of other companies do. It's not just Lucid that does that. But so don't anticipate any real news. So it's going to be the macro environment. That's what's really going to be moving Lucid. But if it is able to hold some of these gains, that's kind of happening in the pre-market, we'll see it above that 10-day moving average. So signaling a little bit more of a kind of momentum being built. Let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying? Are you selling? Stay tuned for my I'll do a PM video as well, just to give you a full overview of what shorts ultimately do. It won't be this long. I'll just kind of do quick stats, and that's for the most part it. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all you watching.